Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook, including this video. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. I would like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. I will put that down in the description. They are an online therapy company. They will hook you up with a licensed professional therapist in your state. If you are international, they'll hook you up with an American therapist. You guys will have to figure out the time difference. But they're licensed professional, master's level, or PhD level. And basically, you can do online therapy anywhere. Just be aware of your surroundings and make sure you have privacy. So there is that. So thank you to BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez, and I will put that down in the description. Okay, let's dive into the questions. How do I stop thinking about someone? Okay, I talked about that 2 weeks ago. Whoa, time flies. So thought stopping. So what an abuser does is they intentionally make us think about them. So the intermittent positive rewards, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, that gets into our head and we start living for those days when they're kind. So when we leave, we're stuck with that illusion, right? You know, the illusion of who we thought we loved. And we have to start figuring out how to move them out of our head, how to move them out of our heart, how to move them into a different area of our life. Thought stopping. So when the thought of the abuser pops up, you have to do a little bit of reality therapy at that point. You have to kind of be like, okay, that's a lovely thought, and here is the reality. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. You were an illusion. You're not who I fell in love with. The real you was the claws, not the mask that slipped. This is the real you. I am not interested. As far as I am concerned, you are dead to me. Bye-bye. And you send them on their way. Write them a goodbye letter. And this may take several letters. You know, it's not going to be a one and done. You write a goodbye letter. You know, dear so-and-so, the good, the bad, the ugly, the horrific, the unforgettable, and unforgivable. And you, at the very end of the letter, I am raising the rent. I am worth more than this. I do not deserve to be treated like this. Every time you pop up in my head, I am going to evict you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Go pound sand. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. That's what you're going to do. So it's thought stopping. It's just not resisting the thought. So resisting the thought is where we go, oh, pink elephant taking a crap in the corner of the living room. Oh my God, pink elephant. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. I'm not thinking about what am I thinking about the whole time? The pink elephant. So what you want to do is you want to go, oh, yep, there's the pink elephant. Yeah, and I really don't want to be thinking about this pink elephant. So, pink elephant, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. I'm not willing to deal with you. I see you. I know what you are. I know who you are. And I choose not to have you in my life anymore. Bye. And you go on about your life. Now, are they going to keep popping up? Yeah. In the first year of leaving an abuser, it's going to be a daily, sometimes hourly thing of, nope, hello, I see you. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. You were not real. The illusion I fell in love with was not real. So goodbye, not playing. You don't get to play up here anymore, buddy. Sorry. So that's what you're going to have to do. It's called thought stopping. So you just acknowledge it. You acknowledge the thought, but you send it on its way. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. What about the strange feeling that I needed to be in this spot with the abusive parents to protect anyone else from them? Is this common? Yeah, especially if there are other younger siblings involved or if there are older people involved. So one of two things happens. The kid feels responsible for protecting the grandparents. So let's say that the abuser has gotten their hooks into an elderly person and they're doing elder abuse. And they're financially just draining them, they're using them, they're living in their house, they're taking all their money, they're taking all their benefits. And so the kid is like, I've got to stay and protect grandma or grandpa. That's one thing that happens. The other thing that happens is if there is a bunch of little kids below that, you know, one person, that child that feels responsible, they'll be like, no, I've got to stay so I can protect the other kids. really, you want to get out. The best thing you can do is to get out. If you're in a situation where there is elder abuse going on, the best thing you can do is call Adult Protective Services. Now, the problem of it is that the grandparent may not tell the truth. So there's been instances where I've encouraged the persons to call Adult Protective Services, and they did. They came out to interview, and the grandparent denied. No, everything's fine. Everything's great. I'm okay with this. Everything's good. No, they're not using my name. And at that point, you got to be like, okay, there was your grand opportunity to get out. Sorry, I'm done. Peace out, With kids, if you're a young adult and you leave, you can call CPS, which is now known as DCS, Department of Children's Services, lipstick on a pig, don't get me started. So, you can call them, and you're in a better financial position to help those kids should the parents kick them out, which oftentimes they do. Because remember, abusive parents are homophobic, they're selfish, they don't want to spend their money on the little kids. They don't, if a child comes out as gay, they kick them out. They, all of that stuff. So if you leave and you get a job and you get your own place, you're in a better position to help those kids than if you stay. Because really, your ability to protect them is very limited when you're in the situation. If you can get other eyes on the situation, so much the better. So that's what you want to do. Okay, let's see. I lie all the time to everyone who loves me. Any advice? So pathological lying is generally a learned behavior. We learn it from watching our parents. Somebody taught us to do that, and there's a payoff. What's the payoff? What is the payoff? Is it an enjoyment of pulling the wool over somebody's eyes? The advice would be go get with a damn good therapist. You need to figure out where this came from, why you're doing it, what is the payoff, and what you could do differently instead. So, and it's a self-esteem thing. People who love themselves do not pathologically lie. Now, do we do white lies? Yes. If a friend of mine comes to me and says, hey, do these jeans make me look horrible? I'm not going to be vicious and be like, oh my God, you look awful. I'm going to be like, I think I like the other jeans better. You're not going to be vicious and you're not going to be cruel. You're going to be kind in your white lie. Does that make sense? It's not a white lie that the other jeans look better, but you're not being like kamikaze truth teller either. So pathological lying is a maladaptive way to feel powerful, get attention, feel in control, etc. Get with a good therapist. Where did this come from? Who else in your family did pathological lying? Who else in your family? What's the payoff? What are you getting out of this? Is it the power? Is it the control? Is it pulling the wool over somebody's eyes, feeling like you're smarter than somebody else? What's the payoff? If you're doing this to people you love, it's going to bite you in the ass. Eventually, people are going to find out, and they're going to start connecting the dots. It doesn't ever last. I love it. Every single person who does pathological lying thinks that their lies, magical thinking, are never going to catch up with them. They always do. They always do. So you want to get with a good therapist, and you want to start working on self-esteem. And you want to start working on why. What's the payoff? Who taught you this? Who in your family does this? Where did you learn this? When did you start this? How old were you? Catherine Taylor, Inner Child Workbook, Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn Schiraldi, Disease to Please, Harry Breaker, CPTSD from Surviving to Thriving, Pete Walker, any and all of those books. Figure it out. Lying is a form of abuse. Let me say that again. Lying is a form of abuse. We're lying to ourselves, abusive number one, and we lie to other people, abusive number two. You don't want to do that. So you want to work on what's going on. Where's the dysfunction, how to fix it. So get with a good therapist, get those books that I talked about, and figure out what's the payoff. Who taught you that this was a good thing? Okay, start working on that. Okay. Do most survivors change their names after escaping? The ex has signs of malignant narc psycho traits. Not a lot do, some don't, some do. It just depends on what the level of threat is. So for me, when I got married, John and I talked about it. He's like, well, do you want to hyphen our names? And I was like, hell no, I want to get rid of my last name. Are you kidding me? Because if you look at my book, I don't know where I put it. I need to put these books where I can reach them. My book, What's Wrong with Your Dad, I talked about wanting to get rid of my name as quickly as possible because my dad was so crazy that in our little community, he had a reputation as being completely crazy. And a friend of my husband's went to school in one of the local community colleges, and somebody said that they were from Gridley, and then Andy goes, "Oh, well, do you know the so-and-sos?" And the kid said, "Oh, them? They're crazy." And I was just like, "Yep, nope, no thank you. Don't judge me based on my dad. I'm not my frickin' dad, a-hole." So, you know what I'm saying? It's like I wanted to get rid of the name because it was just like, no, you can have the crazy over here. Bye-bye now, So I did. When I got married, I took on John's last name. So there's that. So some people do that. Other people, if they're in a situation where it's a romantic relationship and the ex is stalking, harassing, harming, unwanted attention, leaving crazy things on your car, phone calls, showing up at your house, showing up at your work, yeah, you're probably going to want to change your name. And there are organizations that work with domestic violence that will help you do that so that they can't find you. The other thing that I've had is clients move clear across country. Clear across country. And then that way, if the harassment continues, then it's clearly obvious. And then, a restraining order can then be gotten in that particular state. So yeah, it just depends on the level of abuse, and it depends on the level of fear. It depends on what's the objective. For me, I did not want to be associated with my dad because, yeah, he was crazy. He absolutely 100% hands down cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So yeah, and I wanted I didn't want to be associated with that because I was tired of people judging me based off of his public craziness. So yeah, but for other people, it's a matter of safety. If they're harassing, harming, stalking, cyber stalking, threatening, smear campaign, revenge porn, any of that, you're going to want to get a restraining order, an order of protection, and you may have to change your name. It just depends on the level of crazy you are dealing with. And if it's to the point where you're feeling threatened, then yeah, talk to an attorney. Talk to a domestic violence group about what to do to protect yourself and how to change your name and how to disappear so that they have a harder time finding you. Now, changing your name does not mean necessarily that you're going to be unfindable completely because, they're crazy and they're stalkers, and so they spend all of their time stalking and being crazy. So, it's a level of protection, but don't rely on it. So basically, this is what I tell everybody. If you're leaving an abusive relationship, learn self-defense, carry pepper spray. I personally carry pepper spray and a gun. So, and I know Kung Fu. So it's like, yeah, that's what I needed to feel safe. So that's what I did. So, there it is. So there's that. I hope that answered the question. Okay, let's get to the next one. Would you suggest telling a partner about a 15-year-old ago kiss to someone else? I haven't done anything like that since. There's a small chance my narcissist mother-in-law might tell them as a revenge. Well, here's the thing. It depends on your relationship with your partner. Are you in a healthy enough relationship that you can talk about this? I would say go get with a good therapist. Go get with a good therapist. What is your aim with this? Except to stop the mother-in-law. But, honestly, if the mother-in-law brings it up and the mother-in-law is doing it maliciously, you're under no obligation to entertain, confirm, or deny. You're not, especially if it happened 15 years ago and nothing like that has ever happened since and nothing like that's ever happened before. And yeah, if it's the mother-in-law's drama, then it's like, don't do it to circumvent that. So, but you want to be in a healthy enough relationship that you can discuss things like this, that you can say, hey, 15 years ago, my needs were not getting met. This person came on to me. I did kiss them, if the relationship is healthy enough. But if they've got the narc mom, are they an abuser themselves? Do they have traits of? Are they not stable? Are they, there's all sorts of considerations to think about. It's like you need to know what your objective is in doing this. You know, if it's to clear your conscience, okay, well, how's this going to play out? You know, and if it's to come clean and you have a healthy enough relationship that you can talk about all of this, then okay. But if you're doing it to keep the mother-in-law from having something over you and the relationship is not stable, I would say no, absolutely not. So yeah. So, I mean, there's things to think about. So, and I don't know what the situation is with the spouse. So think about that. So there's that. Okay. My narc ex is hoovering hard. Keeps saying he's changed. Ha. And that I'm his soulmate and we are meant for each other. He also keeps calling from different numbers. What do I do? I've gotten that one a lot the last few weeks. Okay. So again, we are in Hoover season. It is coming up on Valentine's Day. And the hue and cry of the narcissist is, I've changed. I've changed. I'm a new man or I'm a new woman. I see the error of my ways. I get it. It'll be better this time. It'll be different this time. Here's the only way it's going to be different. The love bombing phase is going to be shorter and the abuse phase is going to be longer. That's the only way it's going to be different. They do not change. If this person engaged in gaslighting, rewriting history, lying to you, flipping the script, doing the you guns, all of that, they don't change. They say they've changed, but they don't. So you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. And it's so interesting to me to watch people get back with these exes thinking that this time it's going to be better, or this time it's going to be different, or this time, and it happens in Hollywood all the time. And I just am like, shall we take bets on how long this is going to last? You know? So, so you want to, yeah, not believe that. They are hoovering hard because we are in that time of year where they desperately want to be hooked up with someone because of appearances coming up on Valentine's Day, you know, and they're hoping that you're not going to remember all the rotten things they did to you. So the way to avoid that is block them. Block every number. And what you can do before you block them is if they're calling you from different numbers, you send a text and you screenshot it and you say, I do not want your phone calls, your texts, your emails, your attention at all. Please stop. And if you do not, I will consider it harassment. Warning shot across the bow. You've told them that you don't want the attention, and that's the legal thing that the judges are looking for. Have you told them you do not want the attention? And it has to be in writing so that you can prove it. So you send them that, and then you block. And then you send them another one, to screenshot it, and block. And then you go file an order of protection. And every time they violate it, you call the police. And some police departments I hear are just jerks about it. I also am hearing that it's harder to get an order of protection now, which is stupid. But you insist. It's like, no, they're violating the order of protection. This person is dangerous. I don't feel comfortable. This needs to be written down. I want a paper trail. And if it continues, then you probably are going to end up having to press charges or file a lawsuit about harassment. So I know it's a pain in the ass, but, and really, except for the extremely psychopathic ones, usually once they realize the police are involved or that the courts are involved, usually they back off. Usually once they realize that, hey, this is serious, this is not going to be put up with, there's going to be consequences, they back off. Now, the truly crazy ones don't. The truly dark triad, psychopathic, Machiavellian, control freak, narcissist, they don't stop. So if they don't stop after you've shot that warning shot across the bow, then you go file an order of protection. And then you call the police every single time they violate it, whether the police want to hear it or not. And if they don't take your report, I'd file a complaint with the police department. I really would. I'm sick and tired of the police departments and the courts not doing their frickin' job. So yeah, there's that. Okay. How do I love myself? How do I do self-care? Okay. So loving ourselves is a process. And the first step to loving ourselves and taking really good care of ourselves is self-esteem. I know, I keep saying that over and over and over and over again. I do. It really is self-esteem. So the Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, or You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Either one of those books. I like the Schiraldi book better because it's a workbook, you know, and you work on stuff. So self-care is not just the foo-foo, taking a hot bath, getting a massage, you know, exercising. That is a part of self-care. But self-care really is self-esteem. It really is loving yourself, knowing yourself. Who are you? Separate from the family of origin, separate from the abuser. Who are you? And honoring that. Taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. You know, you take care of the whole package. It's not just one thing. So I've had some people be like, oh, well, you know, I'm doing the massages and I'm you know, taking the hot baths, but I don't feel any better. Are you working the self-esteem workbook? No. Are you meditating? Are you working on the spiritual side of yourself? No. Are you, do you see where I'm going with that? Self-care is the whole package. It's holistic. You want to take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. So the body absolutely needs to be taken care of because we've been like for so long at survival. So you do have to take care of your body. Exercise, eat healthy, you know, diet, exercise, baths, massages, those are all good. Going for walks in nature, that's another good thing. But spiritually, mind, body. So in the beginning of our journey, learning about abuse, learning that we're not alone, watching these videos, watching other videos, you know, there's a whole bunch of great people out there that I really love. There was a one that I found the other day that did a breakdown of Moana who said the exact same thing that I did. And he's like the movie counselor or the movie therapist. And so he breaks things down from a psychological point of view. And I was just like, that's brilliant. I love it. So, you know, and Moana, you know, he just talked about the wholehearted Tafiti, which is what I talked about. So, you know, it's taking care of your mind, enriching your mind. What can you do to make yourself healthier, stronger, better, faster, more bulletproof? That would be self-esteem. The Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn Schiraldi. Mind, body, exercise, eating healthfully. Yes, taking baths are great. Getting a massage, also great. But, you know, moving. Use your body. Your body's an amazing machine. Go use it. You know, go do yoga. Go do meditation. Go do, you know, mind, body, spirit. You know, what charges your batteries? For me, walking on the beach. Walking on the beach, sticking my feet into the ocean. That charges my batteries. That connects me with nature. That connects me with the world, basically, you know, and that's where I can meditate. That's where I can connect to God. That's where, you know, we're higher power, you know, it's like, do what enriches you, do what educates you, do what soothes you, you know, in a healthy way. So I don't want you to go out and eat a whole bunch of chocolate chip cookies all at once. I do want you to do things in moderation, and I do want you to take care of mind, body, and spirit. So do things to enrich yourself. That's really what self-care is all about. And that's what we've forgotten. We've forgotten who we are, what we like, and how to take care of ourselves. And mirror work. Hi, good to see you. Have a great day. I give you permission to care for yourself. It's okay. And then walk out. Notice how the internal critic will pop up and be like, oh my God, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your input. Shut the bleep up. Why? Because I say so. Good to see you. Have a great day. I give you permission to take good care of yourself, and then walk out. You know, and every time that thing pops up, you thought stop, put it down. Acknowledge it. Nope, I'm sorry. That's my abuser's voice. I'm not playing. I'm going to go take care of myself. Bye. Go pound sand, you know. That's what you do. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh my goodness. So I broke up with an abusive boyfriend and they burst into a million tears and threatened suicide. I know I did the right thing, but I feel guilty. Help me. Okay, so here's the thing. Abusers will do that. So they will threaten suicide, they'll threaten self-harm, they'll do all sorts of stuff You know, it's just, that's just what they do. And this is common, and it happens with males and females. It's usually borderline personality disorder does that, but narcissists can also do that if they've been successful in the past, because remember, they're avoidant of anything that's not going to work. If they have been successful in the past, have threatened to harm themselves, and it caused the person to come back to them. So basically, when somebody threatens self-harm, you don't fall hostage to it. You don't. If they start threatening self-harm, you call the crisis line. You do. You don't even tell them you're calling the crisis line. You just call the crisis line. Hello, crisis line? Yeah, I just broke up with this person and they started saying that they're going to harm themselves. Here's their address. Here's their phone number. I'm concerned. Can you do a welfare check? That's what you do. And I can guarantee you they'll do it once and end up in the county hospital once, and they'll not do it again because they don't want to end up there. Nobody does. It's not a nice place. So yeah, and do the targets of abuse feel guilty for doing that? Because then what they'll do is they'll then call the target of abuse. How dare you? How dare you do the blah, blah, blah. And if they do it again, you call crisis again. You do. You don't put up with it. This is a manipulation. This is a manipulation. Healthy, normal people don't threaten to kill themselves when somebody breaks up with them. Are they sad? Yes. Hurt? Yes. Angry? Possibly. You know, but they don't do the manipulative, I'm going to kill myself to make you stay with me thing. The other thing I've seen them do on the flip side of that is they use the sex. You know, well, let's just have sex one more time. Let's just do this one more time so I can show you how wonderful I am and you don't need to leave me. You know, and you just have to stand firm and be like, no, sorry, no, we're done, you know, and yeah. So just realize if it's a manipulation, whether it's the I'm going to kill myself one or whether it's the let's just have sex one more time, they're both manipulations, you know, don't fall for them. If you're breaking up with somebody and you know in your head, this relationship is toxic, it's not healthy, I shouldn't be here, then you break up with them and you say goodbye and you cut it off and you basically let them know, this is it. I'm going to block you. We're done. I really don't want to hear from you. This is over. Thank you. Goodbye. And then you block them and you move on with your life. Because otherwise, they're going to do the hoovering. They're going to do the I'm going to kill myself routine. They're going to do all of the manipulations to try to get you come back. And then the abuse is going to start all over again. So you don't want that either. Okay. Oh, geez. So my ex cheated on me and when confronted said it was my fault that they cheated. Okay, that's common. That is so common. You made me. You made me cheat. Okay, BS. No, you did not make them. It's a choice. And if they were that unhappy, why didn't they bring it to your attention? And if they were that unhappy, why didn't they suggest counseling to work on it, couples counseling to work on? See, that's a load of crap, and that's what they do. So when a narcissist is caught red-handed, okay, either cheating, lying, stealing, whatever, they will flip the script and make it about the person that caught them. Well, you made me. You made me steal. You made me cheat. You made me lie. You made me. Oh, really? Did I put a gun to your head? No, I didn't. You chose. You know, and so that's a really good sign that you need to get out of that relationship. Personal responsibility is everything in a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, people take personal responsibility. They just do. You know, I did this. I own it. I need to clean it up. Here's how I'm going to make amends. What do you need from me? How can I fix this? And you move forward. I'm sorry. I did this. Apologize. I did this. And then make amends and then move forward. That's what a healthy person does. What an abuser, narcissist, disordered person does is deny, blame, guilt, fear, obligation, guilt, you know, and they flip the script and they start shooting the you guns. So if somebody cheated, no, you didn't make them. That's a choice. They chose to do this. They chose not to fix the relationship. They chose not to go to counseling. They chose not to bring it to your attention. They chose, you know, whatever, because probably there was nothing to bring to your attention. They would start then manufacturing. Well, you're not paying enough attention to me, and you're not, after the fact, instead of telling you beforehand, hey, my needs are not getting met. That's what happens in healthy relationships. Hey, my needs are not getting met. You're not hearing me. I really think we need to go to couples counseling. And if the person is healthy, they'll agree and they'll go and they'll work on it. If they're unhealthy, they'll get resentful. They'll not want to go. They'll claim that they hate therapy and therapists are all a bunch of, charlatans and this, that, and the other thing. They may go once, maybe twice, possibly 3 times at the out. But as soon as it comes back to them, hey, what's your part in this? They're done. They're out. So, no, you did not make them. All right, my loves, I gotta go. You guys have a great day. I hope you have a great week. Remember, this weekend, we are going to be talking about the behaviors to watch out for. So, signs and behaviors to look for when you are dating, because, we're coming up on Valentine's Day and all that sort of fun stuff. And I don't want you guys to fall in with another one of these people. I don't want you to get hoovered. So we're going to talk about the signs to look for, the behaviors, what to watch out for. So, all right, my loves, you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you on Sunday. Bye.